Well, Gary, the dust has settled on a, for me, a terrific 90 minutes in terms of football match. The games against Queen's Park are always end to end, good football, but give us your thoughts.
Yeah, listen, we didn't mean for it to happen, but because of Queen's Park movement, you know, they've got some good players, you've got to be respectful of that. Their movement in the first 30 minutes caused us a lot of problems, albeit, you know, they never had a great amount of chances at our goal. I think Callum saved a couple of trundlers really, and so although they had loads of possession and they were causing us problems with their movement, it was all in front of us. But again, I wasn't too happy with that, but it wasn't something that was hurting us. But you know, we lose a goal for, that we could have done better at, and we just sort of stumbled through to half time really. So we spoke to the players about things that we thought we could have done better. We asked them to show a wee bit more belief, which I thought they were fantastic in the second half, and they showed that. And we went a wee bit more positive. We went with 2 up and 1 in behind for the second half. And I thought we got at them. We got a couple of goals back. And I thought for that 20-25 minutes in the second half, I thought we rattled Queen's Park a little bit. I thought, you know, that we were on top in the game. But as it is, Queen's Park, top of the league, got players that can come on and change the game. When you're 2-1 up, they're always going to come back at you because that's why they're the league leaders. And we just, you know, we started getting a wee bit deeper and deeper, and before you know it, it's 2-2, and then it's 3-2, and we don't really have a lot of time to respond to that. So in terms of what the players gave me today, their attitude, their effort, top drawer as always, but we can't concede 3 goals against the league leaders and expect to win the game. So we're aware of that. But yeah, frustrating for me, Callum, because when you're 2-1 up against anybody, league leaders know you have to make sure you come off the pitch with at least a point. You know, ideally 3, you go and get the third one. As the game was going, they were always going to come up with us, so it would maybe have been difficult for us to get that third goal. And we were trying for it, but when you're 2-1 up with 20 or 22 minutes to go, you need to make sure you don't get beat. And I think over the piece, I think a draw would have been a fair result. Yeah. So when we've not managed to get that point, I'm obviously feeling a wee bit disappointed. But we'll pick ourselves back up and we'll go again. You know, we've lost an unbeaten record. It happens, we're never going to go permanently unbeaten. So it's about how you respond. The sign of a good team is how you bounce back after a setback. We've had a setback today. The majority of the things I was happy about. There's obviously when you lose a game 3-2, there's obviously got to be things that you can do better. And we'll try and address that, and we'll try and move on to the game on Tuesday and try and get the 3 points.
The last 15 minutes of the first half, I felt that we were far more positive. We seem to be getting our foot more on the ball. You know, we're looking more like ourselves. First 30, what would you have to say? Yeah,
just listen. We done something in the first 30 to try and make it difficult for Queen's Park, but it actually went the other way, and the slight change made it difficult for us. But we quickly changed that back after about 15 or 20 minutes. And then it just took us 10 minutes to get back into our normal stride. And then we were okay. As I say, we got through to half time. We never, you know, if you had lost another goal at the end of the first half, very difficult to come back for 2 goals behind against the league leaders. So we got into half time, we addressed a few things. And as I say, you can only give the players credit for the second half performance. The disappointment is, and where we've got to learn as a team, is that when we're 2-1 up, we can't then lose the game. When you're 2-1 up with 20, and that's my disappointment today. Sometimes you have to learn a harsh lesson to learn going forward, and we've learnt that today. That you didn't need to go chasing for the third goal. You maybe just need to not batten down the hatches, but if you've got a choice where you think, oh, can I get there or can I not? You maybe have to just err on the side of caution and say, well, all right, well, we're behind the ball, we're winning 2-1. There's maybe an eagerness for us to go and try and get the third goal, and it backfired on us. So we've got to learn from it as a team, and I'm sure we will.
But you're right, as you said, started the second half far more positive. You know, we're 1 goal down, but again, typical City. You know, Thompson, a couple of terrific balls in, and we're getting a goal for Henderson and a goal for Josh Campbell, and 2-1. We're in a good place, and like you say, you know, we had a corner and we nearly got the third, but equally Queen's Park then just, you know, on a counter, I suppose, was how they got back.
And I think as well, you know, you've got to remember as well, you know, we were fortunate a couple of occasions, you know, we were shot with a pass back, and another day Simon Murray would have scored, and then I think we miscued a clearance in the second half, and they had another chance that I think Callum made a good save down to his right actually with his feet. So we were living dangerously a wee bit, but you've got to take sort of heed of those warnings and say, whoa, they're getting in here. We need to just get our shape together, get everybody behind the ball. We've got the 2-1 back in front. So we're learning. You know, they've got to learn what I want. I've got to try and educate them what I want. And today it was a harsh lesson for us, you know, and the overriding disappointment is that we should have got a point at the game. You know, to get 3, yes, we were 2-1 up. I think 3 would have been pushing it a wee bit. I think over the piece, if we had got a draw, that would have been a fair result. But we haven't, and we need to move on to Tuesday, another big game. If we can win on Tuesday, we'll finish second, and we're 3 points, we'd be another 3 points in front of Stirling Albion. So that's what we've got to aim to do, but that'll be a very difficult game. They don't lose a lot of goals, Stirling Albion. They've got a decent home record. So it's got to be a difficult game, and again we've picked up another couple of injuries, which is frustrating as well. I know every club's the same, but especially in defence just now, we can't get a runny central defender. So we need to just see how we are for Tuesday, and we'll put a team together as best we can to go and try and get a result.
And on a positive note, you're right, Liam Henderson came back in after a while out. You got to be happy with his performance today?
Yeah, I was. I thought he was good, you know, coming forward the ball. He gives us something different for other central defenders, but again, he's had to go off with his calf. So we need to wait and just see how Liam is. That was the reason that Rafa wasn't really involved today. He was on the bench, but it was for an emergency really. I had a little bit of a tight groin. I didn't see the point in taking a risk with him, because if he pulls that groin, he's then out for Tuesday's game and probably the 4 games in the split. So, you know, people might be thinking for the outside, why is he not playing? Why? There's some lads carrying knocks that are doing us a favour sitting on the bench to keep our numbers up, if I'm being honest, and that was the case with Rafa today.
And certainly that's been clear in the last couple of times that we spoke. Is what's uppermost in your mind is managing your players.
Trying to manage it. Today was a big game. Listen, you're playing the league leaders, and the next game is always the biggest, but when we've got 5 games coming up in a short space of time starting on Tuesday, you've got to also try and do what's right for the squad. And as I say just now, I think for the last count we've got 6 or 7 first team players out injured for different reasons and for different lengths. So you have to be very sensible with the fit players that you've got, because you know you're going to need the majority of them over the coming 5 games.
Yeah, well, thanks very much, Gary, for giving us your time, and we'll see you again Tuesday night.
Cheers, Carl.
Thank you.